Hello, Mason Storm here. On today's episode, we're going to look at making ourselves a casserole. Although I'm going to cook it on the stove, so it's not technically a casserole. Broccoli, cheese, chicken, and rice. It's going to be delicious. So let's get started. This recipe is a first revision for me, and there's some things I would do different next time that I'll explain as I'm going. So I have 2 cups of cheese, 2 cups of rice, 2 cups of broccoli, 2 chicken breasts, some oil, and some spices. I have a mixture of paprika, cayenne, and garlic powder, 4 cups of chicken broth, and salt and pepper. And now for the beginning of the process. So to begin with, we're going to cut the chicken into cubes. In order to do that, I'm going to cut them in slices, rotate 90 degrees, and then cut them some more. And this gets nice little cubes of chicken, which is the desired outcome. And once we're done with the first one, it's time to do the second one. I'm just going to put the chicken I cut back into the bowl, and that's going to make for an easy way to season the chicken, because then I can just dump all the seasoning into the bowl and just kind of mix everything around, and there's no excess space or anything. It really works out quite well, seasoning this way. And you can use whatever type of seasoning you'd want for your chicken. Have it earthy, spicy, any way you want it. And once we're done cutting up our chicken, it's time to go over to the stove. So I just got the big pan on there, cranking my heat up so it's nice and hot. And I'm going to add that olive oil and then begin the cooking process. Now that our oil is starting to heat up, it's time to add the chicken. And now we're just going to keep stirring the chicken occasionally and let it kind of fry so it's nice and cooked. We want to have our chicken pre-cooked for this casserole. And it doesn't take very long because it's nice little pieces and it's a nice big pan. And so while we're cooking away at our chicken here, I'm just going to say what I would do next time I go to make this dish. I would reduce the rice amount. I had 2 cups of rice in this, and that seemed just like a little bit too much, so either 1 or 1.5 might be the more desired result. That way the meat to rice ratio and the broccoli to rice ratio, as well as the cheese to rice ratio, will all change. And of course, reducing the rice, you reduce the amount of moisture as well, so reduce the broth to double the rice amount. Anyway, our chicken's done, so I'm just going to dump it all into a bowl and set that aside. And then add the rice into the pan and just make sure that the temperature is hot. And now that the rice has been cooking for a little bit, there's a little bit of color on it, we'll add our broth. And now it's just a little bit of a waiting game. We wait till the broth starts to boil away, which doesn't take very long. And the second it starts to really start boiling, we turn down the temperature on the stove and we put the lid on the pot. And now we just kind of leave it. We leave it till all the water is absorbed into the rice. So probably about half an hour or so. And then take a look at it and see if it needs more time or not. And then once it's done, your camera battery dies and you miss the part where you add the chicken and the broccoli to the finished rice. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just cook the broccoli for a little bit until it starts to soften up, and then we can add the cheese. So probably about a medium heat or so, and then just let that cook for a couple minutes. And then after a couple minutes go by, just dump in the cheese and stir it till the cheese all kind of melts into everything, and then you're done. It's pretty easy to make. Let's keep stirring that now until it all starts to kind of blend together into a nice cheesy mess. And you can kind of see what I was meaning by it didn't seem cheesy enough and there's a little bit too much rice. So when you're making this yourself, just turn down the amount of rice you add and I'm sure it'll be perfect. Otherwise, even as it is like this, I thought it was quite delicious, and I'm probably going to get 6 or 7 meals out of this thing, which is good. And that's why I like making this type of thing on a Monday, because then I can eat it the rest of the week and don't have to really worry about anything too much. So. And now we'll just start scooping this into a bowl, and it's time to eat. And make sure you take it off the heat, because you don't want to burn it. So let me know in the comments below how you make your cheesy broccoli casseroles, or if you make this type of thing at all. And if you like my content and would like to see more of it, please like and subscribe. I try to make a video every weekday. And until next time, stay awesome.